Hello everybody and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. Let's start with a couple of announcements. And the first one, before I forget, next week is the July 4th holiday, and so there will be no Tuesday video clips. Although those of you who are subscribers to my newsletter, I'm not going to send out a newsletter on Monday, which is July 3rd, because I think everybody will already be in holiday and vacation mode. I'll be honest with you, I will be in holiday and vacation mode. I'm planning to take an extended time off. Time off for me, put that in air quotes because I often work when I go up to Portland where my lake house is, but it's by the water and I rest a lot more and all that kind of stuff. So you will not hear from me next week until Thursday. Second thing is I am offering 2 new boot camps, one in July and one in September, and you can buy them as a package. In fact, right now you get $100 off if you want to buy now. One of them that I'm teaching in July is forming and maintaining optimal habits. We're going to get into the science of change. This is for persons who are either in a situation where they're saying, I know what to do, but I don't do it. Okay, this is why you don't do it and how you can. Or if you happen to be a health professional helping people who you know what to do and they don't do it, this is how you can perhaps be of more assistance to them. I'm very excited about this. I've started putting together the materials, and I have to say I learned from my own doing, and I've become a lot more conscious about my own habits just in the process of getting ready to teach this. But I'm teaching it live in July. It'll be a Friday night, Saturday afternoon. People like that boot camp. I believe it's July 14th, 15th, something like that. People like that boot camp format because it's all the information condensed into a short time. In September, I'm teaching one on autism. And the reason I want to do the autism one, first of all, there's a big demand for information, but it's the same issue that governs autism that's governing the cancer class that I'm teaching this summer through the Institute, which is that there's so much misunderstanding about what the condition really is, and a lot of talk, not much substantiated sometimes by evidence, some things that are evidence-based not getting enough attention. So we're going to look at cause, we're going to look at things that are speculative and things that are actually proven to be true. So anyway, if you're interested in participating in those, PamPopper@MSN.com, and I will send you information. All right, first topic. A concussion is a form of brain injury that results from a bump, a blow, or a jolt to the head that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth. The result is abnormal movement of the brain in the skull, which can cause chemical changes in the brain and actually damage brain cells. Concussions result from things like car accidents, falling, and often from playing sports, particularly contact sports. Symptoms can start right away or be delayed by a few days and include weakness, numbness, severe headache, confusion, slurred speech, and convulsions or seizures. Most people recover, but recovery can take considerable time. Many, if not most, patients today are told to avoid exercise following a concussion. While the advice to avoid contact sports is, I think, really sound, the advice to avoid all exercise may not be. Research shows that exercise may assist in recovery, and complete rest may actually interfere with recovery. Researchers at Nationwide Children's Hospital right here in Columbus, Ohio, looked at data for 204 patients who were prescribed non-contact exercise before their symptoms resolved, and 153 patients who were told to exercise after symptoms resolved. The non-contact exercise included activities like walking, bicycling, and swimming. The researchers determined first that engaging in non-contact exercise didn't delay recovery. That's always been the fear, is that if people started doing anything involving physical activity that they could interfere with their recovery. The studies showed that that was not the case. A study reinforces a consensus statement issued by the Concussion and Sport group, which states that, quote, patients can be encouraged to become gradually and progressively more active while staying below their cognitive and physical symptom exacerbation thresholds. The activity level should not bring on or worsen symptoms. A growing body of evidence takes this a step further, however, and suggests that exercise might even help with recovery. A 2016 study of 2,413 children and adolescents with concussions showed that patients who started exercising during the 7 days following their injury were less likely to have persistent symptoms than those who remained inactive. And a research group determined that activity during rehabilitation reduced post-concussive symptoms and fatigue while improving mood, energy, balance, cognition, and academic performance in adolescents who were still symptomatic 4 weeks after their injuries. Yet another study included 6 athletes and 6 non-athletes and showed that exercising 5 to 6 days a week did not exacerbate symptoms. The subjects had been inactive for 2 to 3 weeks prior to the intervention, and once exercise started, symptoms started to reduce more rapidly. There were no adverse events reported, and at the end of the day, all the athletes returned to their sport and the non-athletes returned to work. As for preventing concussion, researcher Hugh Paquin says that increasing neck strength might reduce the risk. An evaluation of 243 soccer players who did and did not have a history of concussion showed that there was really no difference in their overall strength or aerobic capacity. The big difference was in the concussion group having weaker necks. Other studies have shown the same result. One research group looked at 6,704 high school athletes participating in boys and girls soccer, basketball, and lacrosse in the incidence of concussion. The group concluded that neck strength was a significant predictor of the risk for concussion. Every 1 pound increase in neck strength resulted in a 5% decrease in the risk of concussion. The researchers stated that one thing that could be helpful is to evaluate neck strength in athletes before they start playing to identify at-risk athletes who then could engage in concussion prevention programs such as neck strengthening exercises. The bottom line, increasing neck strength may be a way to prevent concussion, and for those who have a concussion, engaging in physical activity can contribute to faster recovery. All right, it's with great pleasure I give you the next piece of news here. Sales of cow's milk continue to decline as more and more people are realizing that cow's milk is great for baby cows and not so good for humans. In response, the dairy industry, feeling a little bit panicked, is filing lawsuits against companies that manufacture plant milks, claiming that including the term milk in the name of the product is confusing to the consumer. Well, the courts aren't looking too kindly on this. A lawsuit against Silk was recently stayed by a judge who based his stay on jurisdictional grounds, stating that the FDA should sort this out since it's essentially a labeling claim. Now, technically, the FDA would be the agency to do this, but the agency doesn't even enforce the food safety laws, let alone oversee disputes concerning product names. So I don't think it's likely that the FDA is going to do anything meaningful about this anytime soon. Another lawsuit that was filed by the same law firm, but this time against Almond Breeze, was thrown out by a different judge, citing the claims of consumer confusion are patently implausible. That was the term he used in the judgment. The judge wrote, quote, "By using the term almond milk, even the least sophisticated consumer would know instantly the type of product they are purchasing." Attorney Nigel Barella, who has worked on this issue on behalf of the Good Food Institute, says that if the plaintiffs were to prevail in cases like this, there'd be no end to the number of products we'd have to change the names of. He uses rice noodles as an example, but we have to call these imitation noodles because they're made of rice instead of wheat. Well, I'm with the judge who says that the claims are patently absurd. I find it difficult to believe that anybody gets home from the grocery store and is disappointed to find almond milk in the grocery bag rather than cow's milk. I mean, what's going on is people are deliberately seeking out plant milks in order to avoid cow's milk rather than buying them by mistake. And really, even if at some point in time the FDA gets involved and you have to call this stuff almond beverage or soy beverage, I don't think it's going to make any difference. And I don't think somebody's going to go to the store and go, "Oh, now they cleared all that up, I'm going to buy more cow's milk." So I think it's exciting times we live in when the dairy producers have to resort to this kind of nonsense in order to boost their market share. Think about what they have available to them. They've got the checkoff fund, tens of millions of dollars a year invested in promoting dairy products to American consumers, subsidies from federal agencies, and many other favors from the government. Yet this industry continues to lose market share, and the plant milk makers who have none of that going for them are gaining market share. Things are getting better. And on that note, I'll say that's all for today, and I will be back to you on Thursday with more news. Please pass this on to anybody who you think might enjoy watching it.